We are heading to the Magic Kingdom today to try all of the new food. Almost every restaurant has some new menu items, and I can't wait to try them all. Our first stop, the Golden Oak Outpost. One thing I noticed when reviewing the new menu at the Golden Oak Outpost is that they are no longer serving breakfast, which sadly means the delicious chicken biscuit with pepper jack and that strawberry jalapeno jam is no longer. But with the removal of breakfast, I do have some good news for you. They've expanded the menu at Golden Oak Outpost a bit. Now that Westward Ho is closed, they're now serving the candied bacon skewer at the Golden Oak Outpost, and they also have the previously breakfast exclusive Tiana's beignets with the Bananas Foster's caramel sauce all day. So here at Golden Oak, I've picked up two of their newer offerings. We have the hot honey chicken with the brand new loaded sweet potato fries, as well as the banana caramel beignets. Now, as I said, these beignets have been around for a little bit, but they are newer to the lunch and dinner offerings. So we're gonna do some quality control and see if they're as good as I remember. But before we get to the sweets, we have to try this hot honey chicken. This is served with marshmallow and candied pecan topped sweet potato waffle fries for $12.99. So you might be thinking these aren't new, because when Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened, they changed up the whole menu at Golden Oak and they added some hot honey chicken nuggets. But as I said, those were nuggets, and they were also topped with like an olive relish, which they have since gotten rid of. And now it's just hot honey. And as soon as I picked these up, I noticed there really wasn't much honey on these. So I asked the cast member for a side of hot honey so I could have some extra, so I can make sure I have plenty. And they were kind enough to give me a big old cup of some hot honey. And I'm worried that this isn't like hot honey that you and I may think of, like spicy honey, like Mike's Hot Honey. I think it might just be warmed up honey, because when they handed it to me, they said, be careful, it's really hot. So I'm hoping it's got a little bit of a kick to it, but it might not. So these have changed up a little bit. We're gonna try them out now, the newer version. These may not be as spicy as I would like, but they're still really good. They're your classic Disney chicken tenders, so they have that nice peppery, crispy breading, and they pair really nicely with that honey, although it's, like I said, not super spicy. While I really can't taste much of the spice, I was surprised when I dipped my tender in the extra honey. I could see some pepper flakes. They just don't carry much flavor. And that is definitely the pro tip. Definitely ask for extra honey on the side when you get these tenders if you see them and they don't really have enough on there. But man, I don't know what kind of hot honey Disney is using on all their food, because anytime I order something with hot honey on it at Disney, it's not actually hot. They are definitely not using Mike's Hot Honey, because that has a little bit of a spice. Maybe it's like an off-brand or something. But the real reason we had to get these chicken tenders here is because of the loaded sweet potato waffle fries. These tenders were always served with a sweet potato fry, but they changed them to waffle fries, and now they're loading them with that marshmallow and the pecan, which sounds pretty good to me. But anytime there's like a sweet potato with marshmallow, it's more of a dessert for me, not much of like a side. But these look really good. Look at all that marshmallow. I will say there's only like marshmallow and pecan on the top 3 waffle fries here. There's not much of the toppings. Whether they have enough of the toppings or not, these are still really good. The sweet potato fry itself is nice and crispy and has a great flavor, but when you add that marshmallow and the little bit of nuttiness from the pecans, man, that's really good. I just need more marshmallow and more nuts on here. I really like how thin these waffle fries are. They kind of remind me of the old waffle fries that they used to have at Steakhouse 71, but just in like a sweet potato version. So I'd say these loaded sweet potato fries are definitely an upgrade from the previous just regular normal sweet potato fries. I would honestly get this again just for this. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the better quick service meals in Magic Kingdom. You know, we don't got much to work with here, but this is definitely one I'd go back for and would recommend. Now from Golden Oak, I also got myself the banana caramel beignets. These are described as light, sweet, and fluffy beignets with powdered sugar, bananas, and caramel sauce for $8.79. Now, if you weren't into the whole caramel banana situation, you can just order these beignets plain with honey. But from what I'm remembering, they are so much better with the banana caramel sauce. It kind of makes them more tolerable in my opinion, because I'm not a fan of just the plain old beignets from Magic Kingdom. So let's see if they're as good as I remember. Man, now that I've been to New Orleans and I've had, I guess you could say, real beignets, these beignets in Magic Kingdom are a lot less tolerable. I appreciate that they're making these fresh. They're pretty much making the beignets, frying them up to order, so they're nice and fresh and warm. But it's just really hollow dough that doesn't have great flavor. The caramel and the bananas save it just a little bit. They save it as much as they possibly can. If you are going to get beignets from Magic Kingdom, definitely get the ones with the caramel and the bananas. But if you have a little bit of time on your hands or you're staying around Port Orleans, definitely go to Port Orleans and get the Mickey-shaped beignets. They may not taste authentic, but I can tell you they taste 100 times better than these right here. I don't know why they didn't just bring over the Mickey beignets to Magic Kingdom when Tiana's opened. I feel like that would have made a lot more sense. They taste so much better. Well, I was heading over to my next stop in Frontierland and I noticed something had changed. The popcorn cart that used to be in Frontierland right next to Westward Ho is now kind of behind construction walls with the construction of Cars Land. So they have moved it to the outdoor seating area of Pecos Bill. There's not really much room for it, but if you were looking for a popcorn refill, or I believe they have some warm nuts, some ice cream, or a quick drink, you are able to still get them from that cart. It's just kind of moved locations. So next up, we're stepping into Pecos Bill, where they have added a ton of new menu items. And this is your friendly reminder that mobile order does exist. There was a very long line over at the Golden Oak Outpost, and the crowd inside of Pecos is huge. There are so many people waiting in line, but they actually have mobile order at both of those locations where you can get your food a lot quicker, and there's not really anyone waiting for mobile orders at either location, so get your mobile orders in, guys. But here at Pecos, we've picked up a handful of new items. We have their new cheeseburger, their new smoked pork sandwich, as well as their new dessert. They've traded in the mini churros for these new churro loops, so will we finally have good churros in Magic Kingdom? I guess we'll find out. Now, usually I would start with one of our two sandwiches, but in an attempt to try and give these churros their best shot at being good, we're starting here. These are the all-new churro loops. They're tossed in cinnamon sugar and served with a house-made chocolate ganache for $7.49. In assessing the situation, it looks like we have 5 churro loops, so definitely shareable. And this chocolate sauce here, the chocolate ganache, actually looks very good. It says house made. It looks nice and thick and quite tasty. So let's dip our churro into that ganache. Yeah, that's super thick. That's a good ganache, or at least it looks like it is. The best way I could describe these are churros, except it's just the outside crispy, crunchy part. You know how when you get a good churro, the outside is nice and crisp, but then the inside is almost like doughy and buttery? Yeah, there's almost no inside here. It's all crisp. They are coated in plenty of cinnamon sugar, which I definitely appreciate, but overall, they're just hard. Like, I'm squeezing this churro here as hard as I possibly can, and it's not even cracking. So it's just very hard and crispy. With that being said, I guess it could be worse. It could taste like the churros that they serve at all of the carts around Disney World. These are definitely better than that, especially because of this chocolate sauce. The chocolate sauce here is nice and good. It certainly tastes homemade. It's nice and thick and rich. This is some really good chocolate. So on to the savory stuff. We have this barbecue bacon cheeseburger. This has Angus beef, American cheese, a house-made bacon jam, and barbecue sauce with fries for $14.79. Just by the looks of it, this burger looks half decent, and the first thing I'm noticing is that patty. It doesn't look like your typical Disney quick service patty. It looks a lot thicker, and it actually looks like it's been nicely kind of charred on the outside there. Hopefully, since it's thicker, it's not dry, but the patty looks a lot better than the patties that you get over at Cosmic Rays. And on the inside, when you open it up, you see that jam there. The jam looks really good. I'm hoping it adds a little bit of a sweetness. And it said there was barbecue sauce on here, but I'm really not seeing much unless it's mixed in with that bacon jam. And the barbecue sauce in the photo online looked like it was going to be like a mustard barbecue sauce. It looked more yellow. This just looks like a traditional barbecue sauce, if that's it on the top there. But let's try out this new burger. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is a half decent burger. Definitely better than the burgers that you get over at Cosmic Rays. And the main difference is definitely that patty. As I mentioned, it looked like it was nicely charred, and you can definitely taste that charred kind of flavor. And I was worried about it being dry because it is a thick burger. I don't think it's dry at all. It has a nice seasoning blend to it. You could taste the salt and pepper there. It's seasoned nicely, and it is pretty juicy. Even without the barbecue sauce, I don't find this burger dry, or the lack of barbecue sauce, because I do taste a little bit of like sweetness that would come from a barbecue sauce, but it's not dry, even though there's barely any. And I have to say, because of that sweet barbecue sauce and that bacon jam, which the bacon jam and the cheese do get a little lost since there is just so much beef in this patty, it tastes almost like a Salisbury steak, in a way that it has like that sweet ketchup-y kind of flavor. I can't tell you the last time I had a Salisbury steak, but this is kind of like reminding me of that in a little bit. If you're craving a quick service burger in the Magic Kingdom, I'd say skip Cosmic Rays and come over here to Pecos. This is a lot better than the burger they used to have. I think their old burger was loaded with like chili and it was just too much meat. This here, not bad. Okay, finally from Pecos Bill's, we have to try this smoked pork sandwich. This again has barbecue sauce as well as cilantro lime coleslaw and fries for $13.49. Now, typically, I'm not a fan of the quick service pulled pork, but this one here looks like it might be a bit different. Again, it was supposed to have barbecue sauce. Is it on the bottom there? Maybe a little. It looks really dry, and we've got everything on it. We've got the slaw and such. The slaw is more of like a vinegar-based slaw, and the slaw itself looks very good, but again, I'm hoping it's not dry, because it looks like it doesn't have much of the sauce on it. The pork has a nice smoky flavor that I think pairs really nicely with that tangy vinegar-based slaw. And I am so happy that it is not just your typical Disney quick service pulled pork, because every time I get pulled pork at a quick service restaurant, I just find it to be like super sweet and overly sauced. It's just coated. And this actually isn't sauced enough. There is not enough barbecue sauce on here. It is quite dry, and I think a lot of that comes down to the bun being a bit stale. I'm not a fan of the quick service buns that they use around property. I just don't think they're that great, especially because they don't toast it up or anything. It's kind of just a dry, semi-stale bun that is holding this pork here. It's not bad, but I wouldn't get it again. Well, we are heading out of Frontierland and over to Fantasyland to hit up Friar's Nook to try their new dishes. Replacing the mac and cheese hand pie is this new barbecue pork top bowl. It's topped with cheddar, pickles, and cilantro for $11.49. Remember when we were at Pecos and I was talking about that overly saucy, sweet pulled pork that they usually serve at Disney? Yeah, well, these tots are topped with that exact pulled pork that I was talking about. So hey, at least the one over at Pecos is a bit better there. Let's try and load up a little forkful. Now, I was really hoping that there would be like some cheddar cheese sauce on this, because again, it looks like it's going to be really dry. Like there's no cheese sauce. It's just the tiniest sprinkles of like shredded cheese, and there's really not much on there. There is a lot of pork though and a lot of tots. So let's try it out. I have to say, this is probably one of the better dishes that I have had this Disney pulled pork on. It works really well with the tots, and especially works really well with the pickles. The pickles are the best part. And they also have these, what I believe are crunchy pickles on top. Crunchy pickles. I've seen them at Costco before, or are they crunchy jalapenos? They have a little bit of a kick to them. Oh, they might be jalapenos there, actually, yeah. Those are really good, as are the pickles there, but it just is missing something, and that something is totally that cheese sauce. If it had some cheese sauce, it would just tie everything together so nicely and kind of complete this. And I know they do have cheese sauce there, because they're serving up a jumbo pretzel now that they have cheese sauce with, and they have those cheddar bacon ranch tots. So why can't we get some cheese sauce on these tots? They really need it. Now, I also decided to get a little sweet treat from Friar's Nook. I grabbed the caramel apple donuts. These are sugar dusted and served with a caramel sauce for $6.49. I know these have been around for quite a while at this point, but somehow they've slipped through the cracks and I have never tried these. But I always see such great things about these donuts here, so I wanted to finally give them a go here. We do have 6 pretty large donuts. I think this is a very good value here, and the caramel sauce is kind of poured on top, and there is so much sugar on these. Hopefully these are a little bit better than the churros that we just ate. I have high hopes. Finally, we have a fried dough dessert at Magic Kingdom that I could get behind. We struck out with the beignets from Golden Oak Outpost. We struck out with the new churros from Pecos Bill. But this is some good fried dough. They're crispy on the outside, nice and soft, fluffy, and a bit dense on the inside. And what I really like about these donuts here is that you could taste the cinnamon and apple flavor throughout. It's not just like cinnamon sugar on the outside. The actual donut itself has tons of cinnamon and apple flavoring. They remind me a lot of like an apple cider donut that you would get at some type of farm. It's not quite as good as a fresh apple cider donut from a farm stand or anything, but it's certainly pretty close and really good. This is like the perfect fall dessert. And believe it or not, Halloween season is coming up very, very soon. I believe they do a Halloween version of these as well during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. These are really good. They're like the perfect fall dessert, and they are far better than any of the desserts that we've had in Magic Kingdom so far. We do have one other chicken strip stop on our list, and these new chicken strips are coming from Columbia Harbour House. These are maple mustard chicken strips. They're served with crispy garlic and green onions for $12.99. A couple months back, when Disney introduced all of their new chicken strip variants, these were not on the list. At Columbia Harbour House, they had more of like, I think they were called seaside chicken strips, and they had some form of aioli and maybe some crushed up pretzels on them. But now we have a different chicken strip, and these look really good and right up my alley. That maple mustard sauce sounds really good, and I was so excited when I saw they were coated in some crispy garlic. Now, I know the first chicken tenders that we tried today, the honey ones, didn't really have a lot of honey on them, but these certainly have a ton of toppings, which I think are going to be really good. Let's try them out. These are hands down the best thing that I have eaten today. Again, your classic Disney crispy, peppery chicken tenders, but they are just smothered in the most delicious sauce. That maple mustard sauce doesn't have much of a maple flavor. It's more of like a whole grain mustard with a little bit of sweetness, maybe a little bit of honey I taste in there, but not that like maple syrup kind of flavor. More heavy on the mustard. So if you don't like mustard, you will not like these. I happen to love mustard and like a whole grain, really almost tangy mustard, and that's exactly what you get here. I'm pretty sure this sauce is the same sauce that they glaze their salmon with over at Columbia Harbour House, and man, it might be even better on these chicken tenders here. I like their salmon, but these tenders are really, really good with that sauce. And my favorite part is actually that crispy garlic on top. It adds like an additional flavor to that mustard sauce that I think is so good. Man, this is such a good combo. It would even be good with some fries. I'm gonna dip my fries in that sauce, and I definitely can because they gave me plenty of sauce. These are really good. Best thing I've eaten so far today. I will be back for these. These are actually the best of all the new chicken tender variants I've had. Now for our final stop of the day, we're hitting up Cosmic Rays for 2 of the most interesting random treats we're going to have today. We have a little slush as well as an Astro Orbiter dessert. I never thought I'd see the day where we actually had a Astro Orbiter themed food. But let's start by trying this green apple lemonade slush, which has frozen Minute Maid premium lemonade with flavors of sour apple and a tangerine whipped cream with star sprinkles and chocolate for $6.99. This has got to be one of the most unappetizing looking things I will ever eat. The whipped cream on top is supposed to be tangerine flavored, but it looks like hot Cheetos. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but in person, this is the exact same color as hot Cheetos, and it's like tripping me out a little bit. But let's try the whipped cream. Also, they forgot to give me a straw, and I can't really go back in there since I have all this food. So we're just going with a spoon. Luckily, the whipped cream does not taste like Cheetos, and it is actually quite good. It has a good tangerine flavor. I taste a little bit of citrus in there. Now, I'm worried this slush is going to be a bit too sweet, and also, how random is that chocolate curl? The one saving grace of this slush here is the tangerine whipped cream. It almost tastes like orange and cream kind of vibes. It's not super citrusy. It just has a little bit of a citrusy note. and it helps to tone down the insanely sweet slush that we have in this cup. The slush is so sweet. It's so tart. It's honestly for kids. It's one of those super sugary drinks that kids are gonna love, not necessarily me. And what is this theme here? They got rid of the Sully slush, which was minimally themed, but at least you knew it was kind of Sully. And they've replaced it with this. Is it supposed to be Sunny Eclipse? Like it has the red and then the green, like his body. I don't know, the red is his hair. They always do slushies. If they had like a Sunny Eclipse souvenir cup and then filled it with the slush, that would be the perfect themed drink. And honestly, they could charge so much more for it. I know I'd be first in line for a plastic Sunny Eclipse cup. I would definitely have to buy that. And I know a lot of Disney fans would as well. But this is, if it's supposed to be Sunny Eclipse, it's so loosely themed and so, honestly, so random. I don't know. Too sweet for me. Our final treat of the day is going to be another dessert. We have the peanut butter and jelly brownie with a white chocolate rocket ship for $5.99. Again, the theming for this is just killing me. It's so random. Astro Orbiter peanut butter and jelly dessert from Cosmic Rays. Why wouldn't they serve an Astro Orbiter themed dessert at the lunching pad? But I wanted to cut this in half here and see what we're working with. It's very dome cake-esque. You can see the brownie on the bottom, and then there's a little bit of like a jelly, and then we've got our classic dome cake mousse there. This honestly doesn't look great either, and I just can't get over how random it is. But let's try our little cake here. It's also very tiny. This is a very tiny dessert, especially for the price. I can't stop eating this because I can't decide if I like this or not. I think I kind of like it. The mousse has like a great peanut butter flavor. It's nice with the jelly, and the jelly helps a lot because the brownie is really dry, but the brownie adds like this good richness to it. I don't know, it's kind of like a good combo. The peanut butter mousse and the jelly really kind of help with the dryness of the brownie. I had no expectations for this, mainly because the presentation is just so bizarre to me. But it's actually not bad. Like, would I ever feel the need to get this again? No. But if you like peanut butter, like, this is okay. If you're a big peanut butter fan, you'll probably like it. But I guess I like it. Well, today in Magic Kingdom, we tried 10 brand new and new to me snacks. And out of everything that I tried today, there are 2 that I will definitely be going back for. And it just so happens that those 2 new foods that I will be going back for again and again are both chicken tenders. Both the hot honey tenders with the new loaded sweet potato fries from over at Golden Oak Outpost were so good, as were the maple mustard glazed chicken tenders from Columbia Harbour House. Those were actually my favorite of the day. Those were the best things I tried. So if you're a chicken tender fan, you definitely have some great new foods to try. And I'll be back in Magic Kingdom again, trying some all new food because Halloween season is starting very soon. I'll be here for opening night of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party to try all of the food and let you guys know what you have to try during the Halloween party. And I'll also be coming back later on that week to try all of the Halloween food that you could get without a party ticket. So there's going to be even more new food in Magic Kingdom coming very soon. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I really appreciate your support. As always, if you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.